Hello and welcome to Vlogmas Day 12. Granted, I am a little bit behind on Vlogmas on my channel this year, as I am every freaking year, but can you believe we're halfway through Vlogmas? In most Vlogmases that I've done on this channel, I have done a gift guide at one point in the month. It's usually quite late. I personally look at gift guides when I'm really panicking. Gift guides are what I read, like articles, or what I watch videos online of other people telling me what they got their friends and family when I'm like struggling, when I'm trying to find stuff that could potentially work for my family as well, because I feel like every family is so different and specific. We've all got interests of our own, and if you can't think of something immediately and you don't remember anything that they've said throughout the year that they've liked, and you can't think of what their interests are, you kind of fall back onto what other people have done for their sisters and their mums and their dads. But you need to bear in mind that this stuff's going to be very individual. I tend to get very specific presents that are very specific for that person, so it might not work for your family, which is why gift guides to me are more of like a desperate last minute call for help, because I'm like, I need something. Hopefully maybe your dad's like my dad. I also would really recommend you make notes. I know it's too late to say this now, but for next year, or even your friends and family's birthdays, make notes of the stuff that they're not even hinting, but just mentioning. I love doing that. I love surprising someone with something that they mentioned in like June. It's a really nice feeling, because they're like, oh my god, I forgot I needed this, or I didn't know you were even listening when I told you that I wanted one of these. And it's just like, it's a really feel-good feeling. Basically, dedicate a notebook to like gift buying and just put someone's name at the beginning of like a section, like a chapter, and then just shove all the things that you think of throughout the year for them in there. You will thank yourself later on when you desperately are trying to find a present for them, even if it's like for a celebration of theirs, like if they graduate or if they get ill, God forbid, if they, I don't know, if they get married, something. If you're like, any occasion, I need to buy them something, you can whip the book out. It's a really handy thing to do. I wasn't very good at that this year. Completely forgot to do that this year, but I usually do it every other year. I guess it's just been one of those years where I'm not really thinking about Christmas, am I? But speaking of, because it's been a weird year, I am not hand delivering any presents for anyone this year. Everyone I'm buying for is going to get it delivered to them, to their door, via the company that I'm using to buy the product. That does make this gift guide video a little bit unique to normal. Usually I've got the items here. I've literally got one item physically here to show you, but the rest is going to be a digital image on screen. And I did say on my Instagram story, follow me on @nincompoop if you haven't already, would you still be interested in that? Do people still want to see a digital image? And everyone was like, yeah, I love those videos, still do it. So thank you for your feedback. Actually, let's start off with the only item I can physically show you. And the reason why I can physically show you this item is because I have one myself. And you guys have actually already seen this if you have been watching every single video on my Vlogmas, which if you have, thank you, God bless your hearts, I love you, I see you, I know where you are, I know where you live. What? That took a turn. But I really felt like this was important to include because it's such a good idea. If any of you have best friends that you're struggling with this year, I really struggled personally because friends I don't usually do presents with, because I've always felt more comfortable saying to friends, let's just do something, stay away with your presents, let's just go for a boozy night out, or let's just have something to eat. I've struggled this year with friends because we're not going to be going out anywhere, we're not going to events, so I've kind of just said to people, don't worry about presents, we'll sort something when the world's normal. That's what we're going to do for the majority of my friendship groups. But there was someone who I wanted to buy for, which I had such a fun idea for, because I thought, hey, we're staying in loads at the moment, we're in our lounge wear at the moment, we're chilling, killing, so I thought it would be fun to buy some matching jammies. And also I think it's a really cute idea if you're missing them, like you can both wear them, take pictures of yourselves in them. It's a pair of shorts from Boohoo, and it's cotton, it's quite soft, but it's also not so thick it makes me hot and sweaty. I hate pyjamas that make me really like, especially if you've got like a friendship group and you have to buy something, but if you're buying for each individual person in that group, get everyone the same pajamas. That would literally be, you would win gift giver of the year. Personally, like if you had a group of like 4 friends and you're Imagine how cute that would be. Or even like bed socks. Like if you don't want to fork out for loads of pajamas, matching bed socks or matching undies or matching just something matching. I've been watching too many TikToks where like friends are matching with with their friends, and it's like, oh my god, I want a matching nightie. I just saw these in a tarot reading Facebook group that I belong to. You know, sometimes people ask each other in those Facebook groups like what this card means or in this position, etc. And she had these cards that were clearly talking about spirit, like people who had passed away. Like it looked more like a paranormal reading of some kind, because it said something like, you know, one card said, I am all around you. Another card said, I remember all of the things we went through. Another card said, sorry I didn't get to say goodbye. Basically the cards, well, then what, they weren't tarot cards for starters, so I don't know why she posted it in a tarot group. They weren't even oracle cards either. It was more like spirit cards. It felt, I don't know, I was really intrigued by it though, because it reminded me instantly of my mum. She's always been interested in tarot and oracle cards, etc. But I don't know whether she told me that she didn't have the patience to learn all the cards. There's so many cards to get through. Like she did a course on it once and she said it was very overwhelming. But I felt like these ones were perfect for her. They're mediumship cards basically. She goes on a lot of ghost hunts. She does a lot of like paranormal experiments. She tries to connect with spirit a lot. She's constantly trying to find new ways to communicate to spirit and to collect evidence while she's communicating, you know, using dowsing rods or using spirit boxes or Ouija boards, whatever. Or if someone else in the room is, she could kind of use these as like another piece of equipment to kind of see if the things that the cards are bringing up matches with what's happening in the room. Or it might just be her kind of gateway drug into the oracle world if she enjoys those and actually uses those. Because it would be cool to see if she gets into the habit of pulling cards on a regular, because I think it is a habit you need to get into before you understand how amazing tarot reading is. The next gift is a bit weird. This is something I bought shortly after those cards. I'm kind of doing this in the order that I bought them. Killstar have been doing, I think they're still doing it now, but Killstar is a shop that I love to go to every now and again. I usually only get their stuff in sales though. They've been doing discounts a day. They've been doing like an advent calendar of different discounts a day, so every day I've been popping on there. They'll do like buy one get one free on jewellery. Sometimes it will be like 80% off selected items, half price on some items. The other day they did half price on like the plushies over there. Killstar is basically like a really cool shop for people who count themselves as more alternative or gothic. I got a little mini tapestry for a friend. They do little tapestries with different star signs on, and I saw this one and I was like, love it. And I also grabbed some knickers. Is that a weird Christmas present? I personally, now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, is this weird? That was a weird thing to do, wasn't it? If I received some really fancy underwear Christmas, I would not be mad, especially if it was someone who I was close with. Like if it was like, you know, my co-worker or my boss, might feel a bit differently about that. Next item is, and my family is a bit odd thinking about it now. Somebody on YouTube, I specifically remember I was watching her video in the shower and she was talking about buying this card game, and she said it was really cool, and she like was casually talking about it, and I was like, that sounds so cute, like aesthetically and also like fun. I love buying people board games. Guys, look for board games and cards. I got this from Waterstones specifically. I don't know if you want to look over there, because there might be lots of different ideas you can get. We're going to be staying in, we're going to be playing games, being cozy within our little groups. So I say this every year, but now more than ever, get people games for Christmas. And this one specifically is called Medium. Look at the artwork for this. Medium, a mind reading party game. I got this for my sister, Kate. I just thought it was like a really cool concept. I thought she could even maybe play it on her YouTube channel as well. But you basically, there's a bunch of, I'll explain this really quickly. There's a bunch of random cards, all have different keywords on each card. So say me and you are playing the game. I pick a card, a random card, and it says on it toilet. And then you pick a random card and yours says tree, and then we're like, right, toilet and tree. We put those two cards together, and what we have to do within a certain amount of time is think of a connecting card between the two. We've got to think of a link between the word toilet and tree. So the aim of the game is to try and think of the same link as your partner there. So you basically count down from 3, you say 3, 2, 1, and you both have to try and make sure you've thought of the same thing together at the same time. It just seems really cool, and it really reminded me of my sister because we always do this thing. I don't know where it started, but sometimes Kate has some weird powers, man. Like, Kate will say, like, I'm gonna try and read your mind just out of nowhere, and then like we'll say the same word. Like the amount of times we basically try and read each other's mind just for fun. I can imagine doing it for this game would be really fun. Like sometimes we stare at each other and I can literally hear a thought from her head pop into my head, and I'll say it out loud, and then she'll be like, that's exactly what it was. While I'm here, I'm actually gonna tell you what I have got her for her birthday too, because her birthday's in January. I may as well say this in case you guys like the idea and you can steal this for Christmas time for somebody. So Kate, if you're watching this after Christmas, still stay away because you haven't seen your birthday one yet. I actually saw this company recommended by Helen Anderson. They're called Sculpt. It's spelt like SCULPD. This is perfect for Kate. Kate's a very crafty person. She likes making things, she likes doing things with her hands. And Helen Anderson, she's a great YouTuber by the way, was explaining this company where you can buy little like packs for people, little boxes, like a pottery kit, and they can make like clay pots and stuff at home, like plant pots or little mugs. They've got like a little variety of options, so if you don't want to spend loads of money, you can get someone like the candle making kit, or you can go hard and get like the bigger kit. The Christmas kit seemed quite expensive, so I think you get like a lot of stuff with that. But actually what I'm going to do is leave Helen's video down there, because she does mention a few shops like Etsy, which I hadn't heard of before, which I think is so valuable to talk about because I need more places like Etsy. If anyone can recommend any places, just stores that show me small independent businesses like Etsy does, could you please let me know in the comments? Like, I need more people, I need more marketplaces, and that's a tip for me as well. There's like a shop section on Instagram now, as you guys probably know. You can just scroll and scroll and scroll through all these lovely independent businesses on Instagram now, which has been amazing. Even if you search the hashtag like small business, shop small, independent businesses. I mean, it might be a bit late now for small businesses to be shopping for Christmas this late. Speaking of Etsy, I have used Etsy a few times this year, and for my dad, I decided to get him a couple of these fisherman hanging basket brackets. Very oddly specific, I'm aware of that, but my dad loves a hanging basket. He loves his garden. He loves pottering about, ornaments in the garden, and like things where he can like go and show his friends. He's like, look what I got, and he'll like show something cool. So this definitely reminded me of him. He's also a fisherman. I've got a couple of those ones so we can have matching, maybe other side of the house or something. They didn't just do those. If you've got someone that would appreciate something like that, they had different kinds of images and stuff. I may as well add this in too, because we're talking about gifts and you might want to do something like this for somebody. Customized chocolate. Because it was my dad's birthday in November. He's a Scorpio. He loves chocolate. My dad's a very simple man. When you buy something for him, it's either, you know, whiskey, chocolate, stuff for the garden. I found these like big chocolate slabs that you can buy. You can get different sizes. There's a lot of companies that do the same thing, but I like these ones because this brand in particular looked very classy, and you can put whatever message you want on, and it took me ages to decide. Because another thing I love getting for my dad is customized stuff, because he comes out with the most unique catchphrases and lines. Like, he's always just saying things that's like makes you think, oh, that's so him. My dad has this thing when he meets new people, or like not even new people, just people in the family that he's known for years, he'll still do the same gag over and over and over again. He'll be like, pull my finger, and then he'll get his finger and be like, and then they're like anyway, I got chocolate before put my finger on, and I could not stop laughing at the fact that I had ordered something from a poor woman who was going to wake up the next day, see a new order, and know that she's going to have to put the words pull my finger on a slab of chocolate in her kitchen. Here's a picture of my dad when he received it. I received a very appreciated, excited phone call from him saying how much he liked it. So it works. This year in particular, I've noticed a lot more people talking about how important it is to just straight up ask people what it is they want for Christmas. It's so important for so many reasons. Waste, we don't want to be buying stuff for people that's not going to be used and it's just going to end up being trashed, and you know, you're wasting the money on fuel to have it delivered, to arrive, packaging, you know, cost to make it. Like, we're trying to make sure that we make choices now more than ever that is conscious and not wasteful. So I received a message from my cousin, which was a really good idea, and it was like, let's ask each other what we want this year rather than having to just guess and buy stuff that we don't want. Don't think that asking someone sounds like you failed trying to find them a present. I would never be like sad to receive a message from someone saying, I'm gonna buy you something for Christmas, what do you want? Like, I would be like, are you kidding me? Surprises are nice, but do you know what's nicer? Knowing that you're going to receive something that you've wanted for so long. And there are things that I've had on my Amazon wish list, for example, that I just kind of keep there, unsure whether I want to spend the money throughout the year. And then when Christmas comes along and my friends and family are like, what do you want? I'm just like, I can, you know, go over to that list. Which reminds me, my Amazon wish list is down there. But no, Amazon wish lists are great. Send each other your Amazon wish lists. Be ruthless, I don't care. Speaking of, my sister Vicky was straight up, she was like, I want this. Which, by the way, speaking of shameless promotion, I will link my sister's Instagram down below too. She wanted a studio light to light up her face for her Instagram photos because she does special effect makeup. My god, she's a queen, she's very talented. So go over there and tell her I sent you. A studio light is a good thing to get my sister when I use studio lights literally every day of my life. I felt like it was more appropriate coming from me, so I was like, I want to get you the studio light. But I couldn't just get her something that she was expecting. I also wanted to get her a little bit of a surprise as well. So I actually got her something. Oh my god, I had such a fun time on Etsy looking for Vicky. I fell into a rabbit hole on Etsy of lesbian decor. I wanted to buy her art or something, and I thought I want to get her something like that reminds me of her and her wife. I wasn't sure if me and her wife were doing presents this year. I really wasn't sure, and I kind of panicked about it. So I decided to spend a little bit more money on Vicky so I could say it's for like both of them. Like a second present can be for Vicky and Scarlett, her wife. So it took me so long to settle on something. They did some really cool things which I'm gonna keep maybe for another time, for maybe Vicky's birthday or something. But I saw this little vintage tea plate. I feel like it was a thing back in the day where people, like, you usually see it in old houses where people hang plates up on the wall. Like, it will usually be a hand painted animal or like some word or some flowers or something on it, and you usually see like old ladies have it in their houses. I know this sounds weird that I'm saying I got one of those, but I got one of those. It's got a little it's like a hand painted little house with some trees and some flowers and like the sky, and typically it would say something like home sweet home on, a nice little quote an old lady might like, but this one says homo sweet homo. And it also includes the hanger too, which I felt was really important because I thought my sister was going to open it and be like, why has Ellie got me a plate? So I wanted to make it as obvious as possible. I could just really imagine it hanging up because she hangs up loads of different cool stuff in her flat. So last but not least, this leaves me to Adum, my partner. I left him last because I'm really nervous about talking about this because he's in the house. I don't talk too loud. I have told him to wear his headphones, otherwise he'll have words with me. So last year, for example, we didn't do big presents, we just did IKEA furniture. We usually spend the money on like Christmas markets and doing Christmas activities together, like staying in a hotel. This year's been weird. So we've been very stuck for things, but I basically suggested that to keep the money sort of floating around for now, and let's just do stocking fillers. Let's just do little gifts for one another. Our love language isn't gift giving or receiving, so like we don't necessarily need that to know how the other feels. I rather prefer sentimental stuff, or when time's gone into something like crafted things, or little like inside jokes. Speaking of jokes, I got him a few of those. I decided to fill his stocking with clothes mostly, and the reason why is because I find him so difficult to buy for, because when he wants something he will literally just buy it. The only thing that I could think of that he really likes when he gets new of but doesn't necessarily like shopping for is clothes. And I fall into that trap every year. Like I buy him clothes every year, it feels like, but I love seeing him when he has like a new shirt that he really likes or a new jumper or something, and he gets all excited about it, but I rarely actually see him clothes shopping, so that's why I always fall into that same trap. When I have a partner, I just like want to dress them. Is that a weird thing? Obviously I dress them to their taste. I'm not changing anything about them, Jesus. I got this one here. I won't be saying anything out loud just in case he's listening. He's going to love this. He's literally quoting him all the time. I'm not saying names again, I don't want him to hear anything. He's a big old meme boy. He loves his memes, so I had to get him a bunch of memey stuff. Actually, that reminds me, I was originally looking on Truffle Shuffle. I love Truffle Shuffle. A good place to look at for ideas as well if you're struggling with someone who's a little bit of a nerd. And I found a bunch of like funny meme gifts and presents, and there was stuff that was really close to what I think he would like, but then not close enough. So I won't lie, I did fall into the trap of going back onto Amazon. I'm so glad I did, because I mean, look at that, brilliant. I love it. I'm tempted to get this in pink. It comes in pink. I'm gonna see how it looks when it gets here for him, and then if I love it, I'm gonna get me one, and we're gonna be matching. And this one here, he's going to actually sparked my idea for the next gift. Something that we're always wanting to watch but never end up watching is this guy, because we can never find him on any like streaming sites that we use. There'll be the odd thing, but like I've always wanted to just binge like almost every form of footage that he's in. So I actually got a little box set, and there is so many minutes worth of this guy. And if you don't know who Louis Theroux is, he makes documentaries and he just does them in the most beautiful, British, laid back, chilled, hilarious way. Like he's one of those people that can just talk to anybody and just does it in the most... I can't wait to binge throughout the Christmas time period. And there are a few other things that I'm still kind of in the middle of choosing and deciding. I always struggle the most with that guy. Hello? Hello?
Did I interrupt?
No, I'm just finishing up now. So yeah, I think that's everything. I've probably missed out a few things, but even in between the stuff I have shared, I hope that I've given some like tips and tricks and a bit of advice that you might have, that might have sparked a light bulb in your head. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you for tomorrow's video. If you want to be notified every time I make a brand new video, which is every day up until Christmas at the moment, then hit the subscribe button. And I'm on social media such as Twitter, Facebook and Instagram if you want to follow me on all of those to see behind the scenes stuff. I'm also on Patreon, TikTok, and I have a tarot reading Facebook page. That is all. Bye. See you soon.